Luke here once again with a 3 Blind Marksman, and I started in my last video going over a little bit about gear for a primitive camping excursion, one that I'm hoping to do soon. We'll see if that can work out. But as I'm getting my gear together, just going to be going over it with you guys and what I think is vital to have with you going out for this type of camping. So today we're going to talk about one of the most essential resources for life, and that is water. So what do you want to have for your water kit? Now in the last video we talked about the tarp and its multiple uses, and one of those is that the tarp is extremely helpful in gathering rainwater. The problem is you don't know for sure that it's going to rain, and if you're going to be out there for a few days, you definitely want consistent drinkable water. And so there are just a couple things that I would recommend having. Again, all these have historical basis, but these are modern adaptations of ancient ideas of how somebody makes it, traveling long distances or being out in the wilderness. All right, the first are a couple things that we've already had videos talking more at length about, but I'm going to touch on them briefly here by way of reminder. And if you want more detail on it, feel free to go to our Facebook page and scroll down or look at our videos on there. And we've got Isaac made one on our first item, which is iodine. Now, you might be saying, oh come on, ancient people didn't have iodine. Exactly right. That is it's a modern adaptation of an ancient principle, a primitive idea of having something with which to make water more drinkable. Roman soldiers used vinegar. In the ancient Near East, people often used wine, but you would have, and they would carry something with them when traveling that they felt would make water safer to drink, that they saw as purifying the water. In the modern sense, we've gotten better at that, and iodine is a great example of what you can have with you. I've also seen people use diluted chlorine, or there's different products you could go to outfitters and get. But what I like about iodine is the fact that, again, it's multi-purpose. And so iodine can also be used to treat wounds. If you get scraped up, you have a minor wound, this can help you keep it from getting infected. If you want to know the details about how much iodine to use in your water, I would carefully do research on that before using this method. Too much can be poisonous, and you want to use it in very small quantities. And Isaac talked about that in his video, so recommend looking at that more. But this you definitely want to have with you when you're out there. The second, again, I did an earlier video posted to our Facebook you could go look at, but it is a stainless steel water bottle, so that you would be able to boil water in it if you needed to. So you get your fire going and you'd be able to boil your water, which would again purify it. You always want to filter it first, get all the debris and algae and whatever out of there through a cloth that you have with you. Some people keep a clean sock they'll slide on there, or a bandana. Jonathan actually uses cheesecloth because he also uses that for his coffee filter to make coffee out in the woods, and there's different uses for it. So, but you want to filter the water and then put it in here and boil it, and then that'll make that water drinkable for you. You can also use it for melting snow to make it drinkable. So you want something waterproof you can stick by the fire. This is plastic, you'd have to remove the cap, but underneath that this is solid stainless steel, so you'd be able to get drinkable water. Again, more details about that are in a previous video, so feel free to go to our Facebook page and look at that. Finally, wanted to talk about the canvas bladder. This particular one that I use holds 6 liters, or about 1.5 gallons of water. It is heavy, it does add a lot of weight to your pack, but being able to carry water when you can find it, so that you don't purify a little bit and then go thirsty later. Being able to carry large quantities is really important. In ancient times they used animal skins often, or other such things. A good, flexible fabric water bottle that you can fill up and carry your drink with you. Nice thing about these as well, because they can expand and contract. If your water freezes in here, as long as you've left just a little bit of room, it won't do any damage to the container because it can stretch with the expanding water as it freezes. But you can open it up, and once you get some water boiling with this, pour that into your frozen water bag and begin to melt that water and get that drinkable. And so actually by melting a little snow or getting some water boiled in here, you can thaw the ice that you're carrying in your canvas bag if you're on a winter trek, and make all of this drinkable and usable again. So it's extremely important to have something that you can carry large amounts of water with you as you go, or once you purify water that you've got somewhere to put it beyond just a little water bottle like this that's just not going to have all that much to keep you going for a long period of time. So, just following the wisdom of the ancient travelers, having a carrying bladder, having some substance to make water more drinkable, and having something that you can boil the water in, that you can carry it and drink from, that you can cook in if you need to, having a metal container for preparation and use of that water. And if you have these three things in your kit, then you will be perfectly able to capitalize on the various water sources that you're going to come across. And you'll have plenty of places to put the rainwater you collect with your tarp if you have an opportunity to do that. So once again, this is Luke with the Three Blind Marksman, hoping these things are helpful to you guys, and we will see you in the woods.